Welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at what it takes to launch a course on Skillshare. I took my first online course on Skillshare maybe 9 years ago. A friend of mine hit me up, and Seth Godin had a freelance slash entrepreneurship course on here, and it was like $20 to sign up. And my boy was like, yo, do you want to split this 50-50, $10 each? And that was my foray into both the world of online business and also online courses related to online business. And I'm working on a course now, and I thought, maybe it's a good time to put this course up on Skillshare. I've done a number of small workshops and stuff over the years independently, but Skillshare is has a broader market, and it's a platform. And so I thought, maybe now is a good time to put something up on here. And the first step is to apply. And I must have done that years ago, because when I logged in, this was my first option, was to create a class. And they say here, if you're creating your first class on Skillshare, we recommend reviewing Get Started with Teaching in our Teaching Help Center for a full overview of the class creation process. So I just went through this Get Started with Teaching, and so it's pretty long, and I recommend going through it yourself. I'll link below in the video, in the description, but I'll highlight some of the main things, right? So in this, there's everything that you really need to get started, starting with, of course, with the application. But I thought this was interesting, how learning on Skillshare works. There are three main things here, right? Your course should be focused and digestible, so nothing too long, nothing less than 20 minutes or so, I guess. And project-based and community-centered, right? So there should be a project or a project-based outcome attached to your course. And with that, it kind of helps to facilitate this community-centered part, because students will post their project, and then they can give each other feedback and comment, and you can give them feedback, and that lends to more of a community. What makes a quality class? So they've got some guidelines here, class quality guidelines, which I recommend going through, because when you get here, you'll find that there are some restricted class topics. And I think this is worth going through, because some of these restricted class topics you might not have thought would be restricted on here, right? So, for example, you can't teach any courses on affiliate marketing on here, or, faceless automation, or parenting, or personality types, or or you can't do anything meta, like how to teach or create classes on Skillshare. You can't do classes on reselling existing products, or ethical hacking, or anything medical or mathematics, or you can't do a SAT class on here, or anything that consistently references religion or spirituality, or classes that focus on or reference politics, pet care. So there's a lot here to keep in mind. What else was relevant from this? So definitely go through their class quality guidelines, but I think the restricted topics is definitely something you want to go through to make sure that you don't fall into any of those. There are also some teacher policies, a lot of them, that you might want to go through as well. You can see here everything from class moderation to intellectual property, language accessibility. Let me see what the language accessibility guidelines are. So, localization refers to the process of making content accessible to a particular language or audience. In terms of classes on Skillshare, This means all video lessons are automatically transcribed and subtitled, and all written elements such as class and session titles will be translated within the platform dependent on the student's preferred language settings on Skillshare. All right, that's good to know. I wanted to know. Now I know. All right. And then finally, in the getting ready, I think it's helpful to know how you earn from your teaching and how you earn from your referrals. Now, my reason for putting a course on Skillshare isn't necessarily to make a bunch of money, because I don't necessarily think that's the purpose. But there's a community, already on Skillshare. Skillshare already has its members. And so I see Skillshare as an opportunity to kind of give a sample of what you have to offer, and then hopefully, if people dig it, they'll come find you elsewhere. That's how I'm thinking about it. But you can see here, as of May 2023, it's June 1st. There's a Skillshare Teacher Fund, and you get your payment out of that. So there's almost $1 million in that fund for May 2023. And you get paid from that fund based on minutes watched, based on engagement, right? So you're probably not going to make a lot of money, like I said, unless you have tons of minutes watched and crazy engagement on here. And then you can also earn from your referrals as well, which is 60% of a student's first subscription payment for a Skillshare membership. So I'm assuming that means it could either be whether they pay for the first month or if they do an annual membership. I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, Skillshare has their own Skillshare courses on Skillshare. Anyway, so here's someone on how that is calculated and distributed. So it seems like to make money with Skillshare, you gotta both refer Skillshare, right? And then obviously also promote your course and do your best. All right, so planning your course. So they have a class planning template to organize your ideas, your notes, your assets, and assets for your class. I've opened that up here, and it's a really good class planning template because it has everything that you need, right? So you get to your intro video. Maybe you're like, I don't know what that should do or what that should be. Well, there's an article here just for you on how to outline the intro video. Same thing with the project videos and the lesson videos. So definitely check this out and make a copy of it for yourself. I think this is useful for whether you're doing a course on Skillshare or just anywhere. Plan your class. So choosing your class topic. So as long as your class topic isn't on that restricted list, it should be all right. And then they've got some tips here on how to make that class topic more engaging. And as well, your class description. And there's an article here on outlining your class as well. And so this is a little tip from me. When it comes to, like, for example, giving your class a title or writing a class description, I like to use ChatGPT, and what I do is guidelines like this. Well, maybe not this particular guideline, but let's open up the class, or let's open up the class description guidelines. So what I would do is I would take these best practices for class descriptions, and I would include this in my prompt, right? So based on the following best practices for class descriptions, write a class description for this particular title, and then whatever other information you have about your class already, include that. And ChatGPT should give you a good little draft to work with from there. All right. So you've planned your class. Now you're ready to film and edit your class videos. And what I've noticed is that the class videos on Skillshare tend to be pretty well produced. B-roll, lots of cuts and stuff, and they give you advice in how to go about meeting that Skillshare standard, including setting up your space, the equipment that you'll need. And it's 2023. It's kind of difficult to get anything that's not quality when it comes to audio and video these days. Your phone is probably good enough. Probably gets 1080p video, that kind of thing. And so once you've prepped and you've got all of that ready, you are ready to upload your class content. So right here. And once you've uploaded your class content, you can move on to promoting your class. So class merchandising and SEO. All right, so these are your descriptions, your titles. It's what's going to attract people to want to check out your class. Cover images, your teacher profile, and then there's a guide here on class marketing 101. I haven't looked at that previously. Let's take a peek on what they've got to say. So they got some best practices, some marketing fundamentals. Plan ahead, set goals, start with platforms you already use, post often, work those hashtags, create compelling marketing content, reuse class assets for promotion. Okay, so your class cover image, definitely a snippet of your class introduction video, bloopers, sneak peek of your class lesson list, and a brief excerpt of a talking head video from your favorite section of the class, behind the scenes, etc. And then finally, you are ready to launch your course. So click the green submit button. So I don't see one here. Oh, here it is. This green submit button. And this is where I'd put my class details. So I feel like this aspect is very straightforward, the uploading your lessons and adding that kind of thing. It's the preparation and the video and production that's going to take you some time. So engage your students, right? So you've launched your course, get in there, facilitate discussions, give feedback on student projects, encourage students to leave a review. And step outside the box and try something new. So Creative Ideas for Student Engagement is an article, offers innovative examples from Skillshare teachers to boost engagement. And then there's some more stuff for you to learn. So hopefully you found this quick orientation useful. I just did it for myself and I thought I would hit record and share it with you as well. If you're down to create a course on Skillshare, I'll put a link below the video as well, and tell me about it. I want to see your course. I'm going to share my course when it's done, so maybe that's the project for this video, is to share your Skillshare course when it's done. All right, that's all I got. Peace.